Hello, forgive the rather unceremonious start of this video, but when opportunity comes knocking, we answer, or something equally profound, on a retro road trip. So I am off today to meet two very nice gentlemen, Henry from the Retro Hardware Discord, who you probably know, really nice bloke, and Peter, who owns a farm about 20 minutes from me. It's roughly in this sort of area. Peter inherited this farm from his dad about 3 or 4 years ago. And he was telling me the last time I visited the farm that his dad, through the 80s and 90s into the early 2000s, used to go to auctions and basically buy up anything computer related. He would then triage all of that equipment and then try and sell it locally. And this is before eBay, Facebook Marketplace, things like that. So it was a very close-knit local community type thing. Now, Peter's dad sadly died a few years ago, and Peter has been slowly, through Facebook and other avenues, getting rid of a lot of this stuff. And I've been to this place once before with Henry as well. Henry messaged Peter last night and inquired about coming up again. And Peter said, yeah, I'm free all day tomorrow. So that's where we're going. And we're going to go and have a look around the containers on Peter's farm and see if we can pick anything up. Probably stick a sponsor spot there.
Before we continue, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by PCBWay. I use PCBWay for all my PCB needs, and the service I've received has always been quick, cheap, and of a high quality. Simply upload your Gerber files and select the options that suit you, and PCBWay will give you an instant quote. They also have a fantastic project library, many of which include a bill of materials so that, if you want to, PCBWay can source the parts to construct a PCB for you. What's more, the project owners are paid a commission each time you order their design, so it's a great way to support independent creators. Order yours today at pcbway.com.
You're wondering about my fingernails. We went to see an open air screening of Wicked a couple of days ago, and I agreed with my daughter that I would paint my nails. I sort of assumed I'd be green. I was pink. It's always a pleasure to see Henry, and actually Peter's a really nice bloke as well. Henry's one of the mods over on the Retro Hardware Discord server. That's a great place to be, actually. You go over there. I'll put a link in the video description. You can join the discussion there. There's a whole bunch of retro hardware YouTubers on there, independent creators, enthusiasts, mostly UK based, but a lot of overseas as well. Really nice place to be.
So we are here, and first port of call, because of course there is an ambulance here that is literally full of old retro computer stuff. So Henry and I are going to drag some of this out onto the floor of the orchard, as you do, and we're going to have a look and see if there's anything interesting here, because anything we pull out, we've got to put back. So we'll have a go. Let's see what happens. So we have made some space. Zoom out and see what's in here. So there's all sorts in here, really. Everywhere you look, there's something interesting. We've got a bunch of controllers, Atari standard controllers, got an old modem there. We've got terminals here at the back. There's something there that looks interesting. I'm going to try and get that out. I'm not sure what it is, but obviously an early all-in-one PC. We've got Philips video packs, keyboards, laptops, all sorts of wonderful goodies, but in amongst all of the actual stuff that we're interested in is quite a lot of stuff that we're not. So we'll do our best, but let's have a look at what we've managed to pull out so far. So we have a big box of boxes, we have a sleeping bag and a can of John Smith's, which I don't really want to know any more about. Bench power supplies, few other bits and pieces, some nice wood grain stuff in there, don't know what it is. CD drives, power supplies, odds and ends, keyboards, ISA boards, tape deck. Got a Amstrad monitor, it's a colour monitor that's probably coming home with me. We've got some old magazines, business software, DOS 5. Unfortunately the discs aren't in that, which is quite frustrating. We've got another power supply, big box of ISA cards, mostly modems though I think, so not much use there. And an IBM monitor which we're not sure about. We think that it's an IBM one, it's VGA, we think it's going to be monochrome. But we'll have to... Ooh! Tripod didn't like that. We'll have to see. With the weight with this on, it's too much. Right, that's the ambulance done. That PC was quite interesting. We're not sure what it is. It's a Philips. We don't have great signal here, so we can't do much research on it, but it's definitely not just a dumb terminal. If anyone knows what it is, let us know, but it's not something we're interested in today. But given how heavy it was getting it in and out, I'm not sure it's going anywhere anytime soon, so we'll see. Right, Henry, do you want to do the honours? I asked Henry to do that because I can't reach the branches. Cheers, mate. Right, on to the shipping containers. There's lights there, mate. So this is the first of 2 shipping containers that are here. Been here a long time now. We'll go in and have a look inside and then we'll do a bit of digging. So we've got a couple of BBC monitors there, piles of stuff. And this is the organised one, believe it or not. So from memory from last time, it's mostly monitors in here. And as we go further towards the back, we're going to start to lose light. We've got...
There's Donald Trump's Amstrad here somewhere. Oh, sorry.
Are you all right? We've got PCW. More old CRTs.
Donald Trump's Amstrad.
Really old Dell monitor. And then it just starts to get too dark for us to see anything. So you just have to believe me, it's more monitors, more TVs, and that's about it down here from the looks of things. Right. Henry and I are going to have a rifle through, see what we can find. So Henry got here before me. He's already done some looking around. He's picked up an Amstrad 286. Some awesome little brand new... Oh, 2086, sorry mate. You've got awesome Commodore mouse mats, still in package. And a NES. And then you're taking advantage of the sun and getting some sun brighting in on these keyboards. Awesome. So there's sort of a risk of avalanche here, and I'm also stood on the bit of the floor that is likely to give way under my feet. But interesting stuff. Part of an old phone, an old stereo tuner, no, SNES joystick I think that is, not sure, someone will tell me. Amstrad keyboard for a PCW, old Bush TV. There is a Amstrad PC 1640 that I wouldn't mind getting out of there, but we'll have to see if we can get it out without dislodging everything else. We'll have a look at that in a minute. I would kind of like to get a couple of decent VGA monitors while I'm here, but we'll have to wait and see what we can find. Cool, that's a beast. What's that, Henry? 20 inch, 25 inch?
I'm not sure.
So saying that, I've just found this one, which I'll probably just have instead. This is the hard drive version, so obviously a better deal than the dual disc version. So that will be going into my boot. So for some reason now, my phone's decided it can play the torch when I'm videoing.
Oh,
It wouldn't let me do it before.
quite interesting as well. I've always liked the look of this.
Container number 2. This is the unkept one that I have to very dangerously climb into because I'm short and it's off the ground. Henry, I think it's fair to say that he's had a bit of a rejig since we were here last. We're going to be climbing over stuff in this one if you want to get to the back. So we know there's some IBM PCs at the back of this one, or there were, but getting there is a bit of a climbing exercise.
For exercise.
Okay, so I am now heading home on a exceedingly bumpy road. Apologies for that. Maybe it's just the rear of my car is decidedly lower than it was on the way there. Had a great time, as always. Really nice catching up with Henry and with Peter as well. Spent quite a bit of money. You always get good value at Peter because, of course, everything you're buying is sold at sea. There's absolutely no guarantees, and to be fair, a lot of the stuff that you get just doesn't work. But if you double up on things like I have today, then there is a fair chance that you're going to get a working unit out of him. So there's a few things I picked up today. What I'll do is I'll get us home. I will go and have a shower, and then we will go through what I bought in the garage. So we're back, and I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So first of all, picked up a 16-bit ISA Ethernet card. I've got a project for this in mind. I'm doing a work with the Barn Find Pentium Pro next, so that will be used with that. Then onto the meaty stuff. Couldn't resist picking up this Amstrad 464. A couple of keys missing, but these things are absolutely bomb-proof. And then as I was actually leaving that container, I found a complete and much better condition keyboard. So I might just swap that entire keyboard module out, and hopefully that machine will be working. Moving around to here, a whole bunch of Amstrad goodness. Got myself an original PC 1512 user instructions book. And then we've got a 1640 double drive, a 1640 HD20, a PC 2086D, and a PC 28630. So this one's a dual drive one, and this one has a built-in hard disk. Now, as I say, when you buy things from the farm, you don't know if things are going to work, so you best up doubling up, and that way you've at least got spares if you need them. Picked up a couple of keyboards as well, because of course the keyboard on the PC 1640 is proprietary, so picked up a couple of those. Moving on, I really like the look of this monitor. This was poking out from underneath a bunch of other stuff. Just a little composite monochrome monitor, Hantorax brand. I thought that would look really good. I've got a project coming up with an Apple II, and I don't know, that just looked like a really good monitor to use with that. Then we have a Amstrad PCW. This is one of the earlier ones as I understand it. Really nice looking machine. I've never done anything with a PCW, so I picked this up just for fun. And of course, it's probably one of the most oranged things you've ever seen, bordering on brown. Nice thing is when you do buy stuff, sometimes Peter's dad has already done some triage on it. So this one says, seems okay, possible cap open circuit in PSU. Now, that would have been true 30 years ago when it went into one of those containers, but obviously it's going to need a full strip down and work now. Ignore the Commodore PET, that's come from the National Computing Museum in Bletchley Park. Also picked up this, just an SVGA HP monitor today. In fact, I think this is an XGA one, Ultra VGA 1024, probably an XGA one. I've had some problems with my other VGA monitors lately, so I just thought I'd pick this up and see if it works. And then lastly, today, we picked up a Amstrad CTM 644 monitor, color monitor that can be used with the 464. Now, I mentioned earlier on that I'd been to this place before. So I just wanted to share with you some of the stuff I bought last time round. These are all projects that will be coming up on the channel at some point. To start with, we've got a Amstrad PC ECD, so EGA capable monitor. For the 1640 series, but it also works with my own PPC 1512, which I have down here boxed, which is the portable version of that. Picked up a Vic 20 last time I was there. This one's in pretty poor condition, but this will make a good video. I think it'll need a bit of refurbishment, but we'll get there. Last time I was there, I also picked up another 464. This one actually was going to be a project. You can see on the label there, it says works okay. It did work okay, and that's of course a problem for me as a YouTuber because I want stuff that doesn't work, but this one was fully working. So that will get a clean up at some point and then probably go on eBay. Commodore 1084S monitor I picked up last time round. Absolutely stunning monitor, works really well. Only problem with it is the power switch latch has gone, but I just sort of tape that down when I'm using it with a piece of rubber or something, and it works really well. Down here, we have a Power Macintosh G3, which at some point has had a CD drive replacement and they've lost the fascia. Really interesting machine, floppy drive, zip drive, CD rewriter drive, pre-Steve Jobs' return to Apple, but still using a PowerPC 233 megahertz processor, I believe. So that's one that's going to come up on the channel soon. And then the pièce de résistance. I didn't actually pick these up myself. Henry picked these up for me last time he visited. We have here two IBM 5150 PCs with matching IBM 5151 monitors. These are definitely going to be a video at some point in the future. I'm definitely looking forward to these. I've got a few other things that I need to clear off first, but then I'll be over to these, and I am absolutely desperate to get my hands on these and see if I can get them working. So that's it, guys. I hope you found this video interesting. I know it's not the normal sort of thing I do on this channel. I couldn't pass up the opportunity to take you guys with me as I went to explore these containers. Now, we are looking at putting something together through the Retro Hardware Discord to try and find a more permanent solution to getting rid of all the variety of stuff that's in there. A lot of the stuff is just for the tip, but there's some really good stuff in there that we want to see in the hands of enthusiasts. So I can't promise anything. It all comes down to what Peter's willing to do and what we can organise. But the plan is to get members of the Retro Hardware Discord server over there at some point and try and clear both those containers out and the ambulance so that Peter has the space back and so that we can make sure that this sort of hardware goes into the hands of people that are going to use it and cherish it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, there's a button explicitly for that. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. I'm going to go have a shower. Bye-bye.